What's up, everyone? My name is Chris Marshall with my boy Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
Frank G, one, I love our listeners. I feel like recently they're really coming out. We're getting a lot of inquiries of people trying to come on the show, and I can't wait to have them on the show. Share their stories and try and extract value to our listeners. I mean, it's all love. It's all love both ways. So we always want to acknowledge that and recognize it, and truly say we appreciate you. So thank you for your listeners, our listeners.
Yeah, that truly is amazing. I mean, the show started off as us describing empires, talking about empires, and now it's great to see how it's come full, a circle where people with a story that want to share it and give knowledge to everyone else.
It's crazy because I get emails probably every other week of people trying to come on the show. I don't even know where these people are finding us, but the fact that anybody wants to come on the show to speak with us, it's humbling, and it shows that you're trending upwards and to the right.
Yeah, moves are being made in the positive direction. I mean, yeah, if at first we had guests once in a while, now I see we're getting hit up by people from Disney.
Which I was surprised by that. I've gotten a few emails from great people that I haven't even responded to because I truly have a good amount of people that we have to line up and interview, and that's always a process on scheduling and having schedule conflicts. But it's certainly a good issue to have. Frank G, let me ask you a question. I forgot what page it was on Instagram, but there was a post of a boy who gave another boy today like clothes. Did you happen to see that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it was a kid. He must have been in high school, and
Oh, wait, in a
yeah,
classroom? I've seen
yeah.
that. I've seen that in the past.
This I think was new or recent, and this other kid was getting bullied for wearing like the same sweatshirt, same hoodie, and this kid just out of the kindness of his heart, gave him a book bag and a bunch of bags filled with clothes, and bought him all new fresh gear. So I messaged him saying, "God bless you. Let me know if you need anything."
The
Now,
actual guy that
the
donated.
the kid, and the kid's from high school, and you go on his page now. Shout out, it's bm.lehs. That's his Instagram page. Right now, he's getting tons and tons of love on his photo because it was such a kind gesture and the type of content that people want to see, right? So I messaged him and he said, thank you so much, bless you too. And he's like, I have a question. What advice do you give for entrepreneurship? Now, this kid's in high school. How would you answer that?
He's in high school and he wants advice how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Now, my advice, which I'll get into once I hear your opinion, it's basic shit, which
Yeah.
we say all the time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be different for what everyone wants to do. Entrepreneurship is a very wide area, but you certainly can never give up. You got to realize there's going to be days that are tough, days that things aren't going your way. There's going to be hurdles. You got to be consistent. Certainly got to be consistent, and you can't let other people's opinions of what you're doing affect what you're doing.
And that is why we're a dynamic duo. That's pretty much exactly what I told him. I told him, you know, the three major key factors are passion, patience, and consistency, right?
Absolutely.
But then I also elaborated how, he's still a youngin. He doesn't know necessarily what he's passionate about. So it's important and vital for him to try new shit. And for anyone listening, you know, you have to try new shit. Maybe start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, start an Instagram page, and you have to figure out what you like, what you dislike, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and then you just have to grind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's tons of things you could do depending on what field you're trying to go in or what. I mean, there's young kids in high school. You go to a yard sale, and you flip items, things like that. If that doesn't interest you, maybe you're an innovator. maybe you want to invent something.
100%. You got to figure it out. And when I told him how you have to be consistent and passionate and try new shit, I also alluded to what you just stated. You also can't. You have to be free of the judgment of trying new shit. If you start a podcast and your podcast sucks ass, we said it. Episode 1 is going to be drastically different than episode 51.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say 90% of the time, maybe that's a little high, but you're not going to be good at the things you do for the first
We
time.
still aren't good. I would consider us not good.
Yeah, and the thing is, we do see progression. So as long as you see that you are doing something, because you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to not realize something's not working.
Well, I would say we've been stuck. We haven't progressed in any aspect from an audio sound quality aspect. We may have become more comfortable behind the mic, but
Well,
we just,
we're not 100% stuck in the progression of audience. So yes, I mean it can be a better level. Obviously, everything could be better. Um,
well,
but
what's happening is our authenticity of just communicating is attracting new people. What's even more crazy is we don't even put out any content or advertise or anything at this point. And people are now still reaching out, wanting to be on the show, listening to the show, giving feedback to the show, which I find amazing.
yeah, those little clips that minute clips, 50-second clips, certainly. I mean, we spoke about it probably the last 2 weeks. Something that certainly needs to get back on. I've seen you've kind of recycled some good content that we created back, in the archive of episodes we have. But it's certainly good to do new.
Well, that's how you're supposed to do it, at least when it comes to podcasting. You need all of those to truly accelerate. Um, I think we do this a little passively. Passively, I think we know that, but I guess in the end, we have to have some sort of enjoyment to continue, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, we see a value in it. We also enjoy talking to the audience, and then you and I have a connection. So there's multiple things, multiple reasons.
But I also think we see the potential.
Oh
Although we
yeah,
haven't been moving, it's like we know the variables and the solutions in order to accelerate any growth. And it's like, I know how to lift it off. You just got to put in the work and press these buttons. And we're just, being reluctant to do so because obviously life is life. I mean, who you talking to? What are you doing? You got to get your job. You got to make your money. You got to do this, this, and this. You got family. And that's priorities.
yeah, of course. So I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, your priorities may I mean, maybe your priorities may not get jumbled, but it could get jumbled to everyone around you, where they think, okay, you're putting in all this time and effort in new things and not maybe focusing on other people. So it is important to also find that middle ground. But when you're young, it's certainly a blessing to start.
Well, that's also funny in a way, is that we may feel stuck and feel like we haven't progressed the show and our aspirations, but that never bothers me. Even with my audience and Instagram algorithms, you know it's lowered, the community diminished slightly, but I'm not putting in the effort as I did 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying so less time spent in I don't know, creating content or really catering to your audience has lowered the um
On all across the board.
yeah.
And that doesn't bother me because, like I said, I know I'm in the shuttle and I know I can, press all these buttons to truly take off, but I'm just not, because that requires work. My mind is elsewhere. We're going to Miami and Atlanta,
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as you're consistently doing this passively, you always have those buttons available to press. If you don't, right? If we didn't do the show weekly and we do it, every other month or something, those buttons are stuck. You can't press them. You can't
Yeah.
accelerate.
Yeah, no, I mean, they start to fade away. Certainly, the consistency is gone there at that point. At least something is consistent every week. We're here and we talking to you guys now. Yes, we can certainly do more when it comes to putting our content out there. But like you said, I mean, it comes down to work and priorities.
100%, and time. And I guess how bad do you want it? I feel like, it's timeless. It's gonna happen. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. You know, it's gonna happen. Um, Shout out Tom. So I was Saturday night, Edge, New York, where you see all of New York from like 100 stories up. Underneath you is a glass floor, and Tom was a guest on the podcast, and I think you remember he put "Build Your Empire" on the
Of course.
cement.
Yeah, yeah. He's an iron worker, and putting together one of these skyscrapers, he decided to write "Build Your Empire." That's a fan right there. Thank you, Tom.
That's a friend.
That is a
So
friend.
I hate the word fan because a fan feels like they're not a part of a community or family or friend. Like, I mean, to create fans, you have to have millions of people where there's no way you can communicate with them all. You
Well,
see what?
yes. I mean, if you're taking it, I guess that literal, yeah. But also, he's a fan of us. Like he's a fan of the show. He's not like I don't know. It's hard to, I guess, explain when you're
Yeah,
just
no,
using the word
no.
fan.
I hear you. Um, I I'm just putting my point of view in, like, if I post something, I hate, like, it's almost arrogant to say fans, in my opinion. It's just an odd word. You have to be truly famous to have fans,
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. To have a community of fans, yeah, for sure.
right? Um, but I tell you, he made me look pretty badass. I showed fucking. I'm like chilling. I get the message, and I'm with this girl, and I'm with the worker of, like, the building,
Hmm.
and like I see this message, and I show them, and they're like, "Damn, that's pretty cool." I'm like, "That's my boy."
Did he tell you like what beam it was on, and like did you go up to it?
I mean, I don't know. You're pretty damn high, and if it was a building across the street, I don't even know. I mean, it was a absolute wonderful view and experience.
did
Probably one of the best views in
Did
Detroit.
you go there knowing that that was the building, or did you forget?
I had no idea. I mean, he
Mm.
was an iron worker who just, did me a what do you call it? I don't want to say a favor, just a nice, genuine thing.
Gesture. Yeah.
Yeah, gesture, and it was certainly dope. I didn't know that was where it was located. I didn't know nothing.
That building seemed to have gone up quickly then. If you're already inside of it and it's an attraction, I'm sure it felt great. Maybe it didn't feel great with New York's current how they are, but I'm sure it felt nice to be in that city.
Well, I love my city, right? I rep my city hard. It's my favorite city, and our city has digressed, um, and it's sad to see. But the building itself, the Sky Deck, it opened March 2020. It was pretty wild. I've been to the Sears Tower in Chicago, where it's a similar type
Yeah,
view
see,
building.
and then see through, right? The floors.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I went with my buddy, and he was like sweating, like standing on it. Now, I, I, I think I have a fear of heights, but like I don't. I'm not trying to skydive like you, but I have no problem walking on glass that is meant.
Meant to be walked on.
Yeah, like, all right, I'll walk on that bitch.
I mean, it's certainly been designed to hold you, right? I mean, New York City's not putting something together with the potential of you falling through that.
Yeah, I tell you, the worker came over and approached me, and, like, I'm with a girl. She's like, "Oh, take pictures." I'm sitting there taking pictures, but I put my champagne on the glass, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "if that spills, like, this is a huge problem. Nobody could be on the glass." I'm like, "Ooh, that's a that's
As
a
in
good
it,
point."
as in it's slippery.
Yeah, if I mean,
Yeah.
if that spilt, you got to then clean it all up. Nobody could go on it. It would be a whole process. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, and that's their attraction, like to see through floor,
yeah,
the see through floor.
yeah. I'm like, yo, you got a good point. I'm sorry.
I'll
Um,
tell you what would be scary: someone slipping on that and hitting the floor real hard, just like that. Thought that might be scary. Like you're hitting glass with a
I
bottomless pit.
Hey, you say no more. I took that thing right up, right up, right off. I understood. Um, but yeah, New York, man. I love New York, but at the same time, I'm a suburb guy. I don't know if I could be in a city like that. Um, I like to have my space.
Yeah, well, we grew up like that, so we're used to it. We used to having a backyard. We used to have not having to go to, I guess, they're being a doorman and going up an elevator to get to your room. That's a big change.
I can't take you to the top. I'm no elevator.
Yeah, you may be able to elevate though.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to be a boss and put my homies on salaries, not just take them to the top.
First you get your money right, then you get your team on.
Yeah, homie, it's the theme song. First I get my money right, then I put my team on. What song is that?
Title wise, you got me, kid.
You quoted it first. Do you even know who said that line?
I mean, it's a Drake song.
No,
It's
man.
a Wheezy song.
Yeah.
I'm bugging.
It's Can't Tell Me Nothing remix with Kanye.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um
Screw that
so
one up.
yeah, you did. I mean, they're like enemies. You or I put a quote before. Put a few quotes today. One, you can't stop someone who's unstoppable, which I think that
What,
makes a lot of sense. Go ahead.
what about an immovable object?
I said someone.
Oh, someone.
You
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
stop someone who is unstoppable, who believes they're unstoppable.
But can't someone unstoppable meet an immovable object?
Did that sentence make sense?
Yes.
Say that again.
Someone who is unstoppable meet an immovable object. They cannot move.
Like a big ass truck.
Maybe, or if we're talking figuratively, a mountain.
I mean, I am talking a little metaphorically, but you're taking this a bit literally. I'm not talking about Superman moving a mountain.
I was just playing the devil's advocate, trying to see both sides of it.
I'm not getting your side at all, but I guess there's always sides to everything. Um, I don't know. I think that's a good mentality to have. I've been thinking about it for the past week or so. I heard I heard Michael K say something where you know if someone beats the shit out of him and he's in the hospital, he's gonna come back. And if he comes back and they beat the shit out of him again and he's in the hospital for a year, he's gonna come back and he's just always gonna come back. And if you have that mentality, uh, I don't know. It's a unique mentality.
That certainly is a unique mentality, but that also certainly sucks. And you probably, if you're getting beat the shit out of in the hospital multiple times, it may be tough afterwards.
I understand, and also you probably shouldn't have any animosity or put yourself in a situation.
Like a vengeance
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah. I mean, in fact, going back to the kid earlier we spoke about with the kind gesture of giving the clothes, I even told him, I was like, hey, man, having the good heart that you have and the kindness, there's going to be an avalanche effect of good energy, which it actually is already happening. So as long as you have that intent and that authenticity, I truly don't think like you're going to put yourself in bad situations. Now, that doesn't mean that can't happen.
Of course, that can happen. I mean, it's not all based off of you. It's like you're driving a car. You're not really. If you're a good driver, you may not be worried about yourself, but there's other people that could totally screw your day up.
Great analogy. Great analogy. Now, I also put up today, which I've been saying this for years, and you're going to say it's correlated to one fucking person, equity over checks.
Would you want me to tell you that I'm correlating it to Russ?
Yeah, because fucking Russ comes out with a jam a year ago, and I say that, and then you just think that's where I got it from. But that has always been a major key factor. From Jay, that's pretty much how Jay Z operated, right? Like I kind of learned that from Jay Z and Beyonce. There was a couple of years ago. This was actually, I think, where I learned it. There was like a product, I forgot what it was, where Ariana Grande and Beyonce had like to do a performance, and they paid Ariana Grande like 50 million, and she took the money, where Beyonce took the equity, and the equity turned out to be like 10x what she would have gotten paid. And that right there, and how Jay Z operates, kind of showed me always take the equity over the check.
Well, do we know what she got equity in or no?
I legit forgot the product. It was something that was getting ready to IPO, and it IPO'd, and boom,
Yeah.
it blew the fuck up.
Well,
And go ahead.
well, I mean, there's a significant difference in age there, and also experience. So that potentially, I mean, Ariana Grande, I don't know when this was, but if your first deal or whatever, you're getting 50 million, that probably sounds enticing to someone younger without that knowledge.
Well, it's a risk in general,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
So it's very hard when you're in that situation to still have the discipline
Hmm.
to actually take action on taking equity over a check. I mean, you also have to have belief, I suppose, in the product or the
Of course.
situation.
Absolutely. And I mean, also at this point in Beyonce's career, she is also well off already. I don't mean, so is Ariana Grande, but I guess she didn't believe in the products as much as Beyonce.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think the ugliest thing in this world is greed. I mean, I've seen greed crumble people. It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen in this world. Money changes people. And I don't know, if you got 50 mil on the table for, a 35-minute performance, I bet you 95% of people are going to take that 50 milli.
Of course. That sounds excellent. 50 million for a 30-minute performance.
Or a shit ton of equity or stock that's about to IPO. I mean, 35 minutes for a potential 10x that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, I guess one is liquid right away though. So
Sure.
I mean, I could certainly see someone taking 50 million. It's not the worst thing.
Mm, well, sure. But this comes down to strategy and vision.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying, I guess if you're building an empire in a sense where you're trying to get your hands on all these different things, then yeah, if you're going to believe in a product that's eventually going to pay you for the rest of your life, that is smarter.
I don't know. I mean, one day we were in a situation like that with this show back in the day. I mean, I've could have essentially sold this show to a dude who has coin Build Your Empire, and we would have essentially been working for him, and he probably would have helped us build a massive audience. But then he owns the IP.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that certainly would have been interesting to see how that would have played out, but it doesn't work like that. So
Well, it's funny. I'm speaking to someone, and they think that you need connections to excel, and you need connections to build something or create something. And I'm like, you don't though. You don't. You just have to do something and then believe in it, make moves, and then when you find connections, they can help you get to a next level maybe, but like you don't need them.
well, that's, I mean, I kind of get the point because I mean, the saying is it's who you know, not what you know. But
It's 100% what you know.
yeah, but you're networking along that path, and then I mean, there's people that are helping your craft. I mean, having Amadeus on that certainly helps. Having Bethany Lyons on, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're meeting these people. You don't know them now yet.
Of course. Well, I knew my homie Amadeus. Did you see Amadeus tour dates?
I didn't see the dates, but I saw he's back.
Yeah, he's back. It's not on your birthday though. Sorry, kid. It is on
Yeah,
mine.
kid got real excited there.
Nah, nah, I wouldn't even want to. I wouldn't even want to. Yeah, I probably wouldn't even want to do that on my birthday. I still think he he's performing a week after your birthday, so that may be an ideal time frame. It's like September 5th or some shit.
Certainly would be nice to be in Dre's on a 30th birthday.
Well, yeah, except you'd be 30 for a week already.
I mean, realistically, who cares? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, it certainly hits a little different when like you're in the night going into your birthday.
That happens rarely. Your birthday is on a weekend like twice every, I don't know how many years.
7 years.
Yeah. So that is a
Yeah,
rare thing.
I gotcha. I think your birthday. When's your birthday? I think it's on a Friday though.
No, it's a Thursday.
Your birthday is on a Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah.
August 26th. For those of you who don't know, I don't know what the fuck his shit is, but I'm a Scorpio. November 8th. Holla, I'm the best.
Virgo, baby.
He said
Compassionate.
Virgo. I don't even think he said it right. Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
would say I didn't say it right. I was a Virgo for 30 years. Take it easy.
29 guy, relax.
Well, technically, I was being grown 9 months inside the womb.
Oh, oh, you really gonna take it there? You don't you didn't know you were Virgo then?
Of course, I didn't. I didn't know Virgo. I didn't know I was a Virgo till I'm sure I was like 10.
I don't know, man. I love being a Scorpio, and it was funny because I was talking to someone recently, and they're like, Scorpios love saying they're Scorpios. I'm like, you know what? I don't believe in astrology, but fuck, I do like telling people I'm a Scorpio.
I mean, I was just going to ask you if you believe in astrology because you said you love being a Scorpio. So, what do you love about it if you do not believe in astrology?
Well,
The fact that it's a Scorpion?
one, yes, I do think that's one of the better signs. And if I was to like ever get tattoos, a scorpion would be one. Um, but a Scorpio also is the most dominant sign in all of astrology, and
Dominant in a sense of what?
it's known as like the dominant sign of astrology. Like it's the most powerful, and also everything it represents. I do correlate it to my characteristics. Between, they're also labeled sex gods, by the way, because of passion and romantics. Very loyal, trusting, ambitious. All characters I'm with. I'm with it. So I can't complain. And if it's the most dominant, what up?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would need some like actual facts here from
Here I am.
you
You
telling
know
you
me 15 years. What's up?
you're
You
telling
ain't,
me
you ain't gonna know my
things
sex life, but
you're telling me
maybe.
things that just sound like a little biased.
I ain't. I feel like you're googling it right now as we speak. So I don't know what the hell you're saying. You probably are reading what I just stated.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying to, but I do see that Scorpios and Virgos are compatible,
Yo, what's up, kid?
and I don't know if they talk. I guess that's in any type of relationship, friendship.
I don't know. I don't know, but that makes sense a little bit.
So you do believe in astrology?
Yes and no. It's a pseudoscience. So like knowing it's a pseudoscience, I can't like fully believe in it. But like I tell you what, I had two ex girlfriends, and I don't think I was compatible with them, and it certainly went that way.
Yeah, I mean, a Virgo is like the 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 image is like an angel or a virgin. So that's interesting.
I swear, nobody whacks off more than you.
I mean, yeah, if that's all you do, you're technically still a virgin.
All right, if you listened last week to the end of the show, you would get that joke. We're gonna end this show. I appreciate y'all. You are now rocking with the best.
We'll check you guys out next week. Thank you for listening. We love you and keep rocking with us.